Guys, so welcome back. How I would like to kick off this next video is maybe focusing a little bit of time on this particular picture that you see on your screen, and it is the materials, information, and cost flow. All right, so I'm going to focus a lot of my time here because it will, I think it will help bridge the gap as we talk about the different segments within this chapter. All right, so first off, we're going to spend some time looking at this particular table here first, okay? All right, so for a second, I want you to maybe press pause, take a second, review all of this information, pause it now, come back, and let's talk about it. I want to walk through this ledger with you so you have a better understanding. All right. So hopefully you did take a pause and watch through this video or make your way through this video, but I want to spend some time talking about this, all right? So what you should see, or what you should be looking at, is the materials ledger account for, specifically for wood. We are making something, or this is our maple wood particular account, okay? All right, so I want to ask you these questions, and hopefully you'll talk to the screen or you'll have some kind of input, okay? So on December 4th, what is happening on December 4th? So here it is, December 4th. I'm asking you, what's happening on December 4th? Okay, so work through that for a second. Pause it if you need it. Okay, so December 4th, what's taking place is, first off, you should realize that maybe our inventory is decreasing. And the way, or the reason I know that is because in December 1st, the inventory quantity was at 600, and then it decreased to 400, which means that we lost 200 maybe stock of wood, maple wood, for some reason. Okay, so if I'm processing through this, I'm like, okay, why would our inventory decrease by 200? A quantity of 200, maybe pallets of wood, okay? So then it provides me more information on this line, okay? So it says materials requisition number 672, all right? Don't know much about that, so I'm gonna keep going. It tells me that the quantity is 200, which makes sense to me because I was able to do that quick calculation, so it confirms that, hey, something is going on, right? This is my issued. And then it gives me the total dollar amount of the materials that I'm issuing. Now, that doesn't really explain what happened to my 200 pallets of maple wood. I need to dig a little deeper. But what I do know at this point is my materials inventory has just decreased by 200 pallets, right? And so now I'm gonna follow this little line here, and it tells me in section B that it looks as if 200 pallets of maple wood is being applied to this particular job. Here's the requisition number 672. It matches here, right? So here's the 200 quantity of maple wood, the pallets at the unit cost and the amount. So in plain English, what's happening is maybe there was a customer for a Fender or a Gibson or whoever it is, and a customer came to them and said, hey, I am wanting so much of this product. And so what has happened is this job has now been created. And in order to fulfill this job, we must apply 200 pallets of maple wood to complete it. So we're gonna go, if I'm in charge of this particular job, maybe I'm the supervisor and I'm pulling together this entire job. I go to my warehouse or my storeroom and I say, okay, if I'm going to complete job number 71, the way I need to do this, or the materials I need, is about 200 pallets of maple wood. And so that's what's going on. So maybe what the manager or the supervisor did was they walked to the storeroom. But remember, there must be a paper trail of what is actually happening to these materials. And so yes, we know that we're trying to fulfill this order, but on paper we must show the transaction taking place. And that's what's happening here. They're showing you how these 200 pallets of maple wood is gone from your materials inventory to now being applied to a job as in work in process, okay? Now, let's look at December 8th, okay? Now, let's see, December 8th represents, we have about 400 pallets of maple wood left in stock, right? Once that was, 200 was depleted. But then we have this new little line, right? 750 pallets at $14, right? So you're like, okay, where does that come from, right? Or you're trying to connect the dots. Well, here it is, right? Here's the 750 quantity and here's the amount, right? And we're putting that into inventory. Now, how do you increase your inventory? So take a second and think through this. How do you increase, how do a company increase their inventory? So hopefully you said by the purchase or going out to their supplier, right? And so that's what A is alluding to. Maybe what we realize is that, oh, we have applied 200 pallets of maple wood to this particular job. We better go stock up. We better go back out into the market and buy more materials, because if we have another job, it may wipe us out. You're planning ahead, right? And so that's what happened. They go out to their supplier and say, hey, we need 750 pallets of maple wood. And so what you see happening is there's a receiving report as in confirmation that the order took place. We have the supplier's invoice, which is going to go to your accounts payable team, and then all of that good stuff. And so you see our inventory is now being increased. All right, last but not least, on December 12th, we have another transaction. And what you see here is we had inventory of 400 pallets of maple wood at $10 each. And then we also had 750 pallets of maple wood at $14 per unit. That's what we had in inventory. Now on December 12th, that's strange. All we have left is a total of 250, right? So what I can see here is a large quantity, to be exact, 900 of this, to be exact, 900 of the, I don't know what, 1,150, if I do 400 plus 750, that's 1150, right? So 900 of the 1150 is now being applied or issued to another job. So maybe another customer came to the person and said, hey, I want, I don't know, 3,000 pink guitars or 3,000 wooden guitars. I don't know, whatever, right? So what's happening is the supervisor that's in charge of this particular job or what have you is going to the storeroom and saying, okay, in order for me to complete this job of 3,000 relic guitars, I'm going to need 900 pallets of maple wood. And remember, we can't just say, oh, storeroom, give me 900 pallets and put it in this area. No, there has to be a paper trail. And that's what this is showing. We're giving it a narrative, right? A story. And so that's what's happening here. We taking these 900 and applying it to job number 72. And this requisition number just represents, hey, it's a request for materials. A materials requisition is just a request for materials by maybe the supervisor or whoever is in charge of this job. Okay, so hopefully that all made sense. I know I was a little long-winded in explaining this to you, but I really want you to get how we receive inventory and then how our inventory is depleted, okay? So in the next video, we're gonna go into more details on job order cost.